So hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join myself and Joshua on the banks of the river and we're in search of chub. So in previous weeks you've seen me fish this river when it hasn't been ideal. Today the river's dropped, it's low and clear like you can see on screen now, and it presents us an opportunity to target areas of the river where the chub might be holding up in the shallow water. So when the conditions were up and boiling, the slacks are where you're looking for Mr. Chub. Today it's just as easy. You can see the areas where the chub are not, but that dark water is where Mr. Chub will be, and that's where we're going to target. So I do like the videos on the channel to have a bit of a theme, and today it is all about trying to get quick bites in a short space of time from Mr. Chub. I'm fishing a swim today that I've never wet a line in before, but using my experience it should hold one or two chub. Even though I've never seen the swim before, I'm pretty sure if we feed it in the right way, we can get some instant results. And that is the hope on today's video, to show how you can target these small rivers in the right places, using the right tactics and the feeding, so you can get really quick results. Let's waste no time at all, let's get some bait into the swim and let's make a start. Looking at the swim, we've got plenty of features. Now it'd be dead easy to go that other bank, but if you look downstream, we've got a snag. And if the chub goes in the back of that, we're going to be in trouble. Being on this side of the river, we can use the angle to tease him away. But it's a beautiful swim. We've got shallow water dropping into deep. You can see, you can't see the bottom. And it's down here. I'm hoping to congregate Mr. Chub. So we're going to be feeding me hemp here, so it falls down. The maggots here, so they're going all the way along the feature. Even on the coldest of days, Mr. Chub will feed. Now I'm setting the rod up, but while I'm doing so, I'm introducing bait into the swim all the time. What that'll do is the bait will go down. There's a lot of river downstream, like you can see. It'll begin to move them onto that line of bait, and hopefully when we go in, Mr. Chub will be waiting. Just got to keep that bait going in all the time, and we're going to put some of that beautiful hemp just there so it falls where we're hoping to get the bite. The side tray for today, super simple. We've got Hinders hemp and we've got white maggot, and for anyone that's interested, I get the white maggot from Widnes Angling Centre every Friday. I nip in after work and get me bait. So the hemp is from Hinders, and on a Thursday night I put it to soak, and on a Friday night I give it 20 minutes in the pan, so it's ready for Saturday. Nice and simple, there's nothing complicated about chub fishing. So the first trot down, like I say, if you put them maggots in at the start, you can prepare the swim, and normally when you go down the first time, you get into one. Keeping that rod nice and low, because we've got quite a few snags around the area, and just holding tight with this 12-foot glide. Got to have trust in your presentation. We've only got £2 1 ounce hook link, but a nice strong hook, and it's just a case of taking your time and edging that fish upstream. And as you can see here now, we've got it right on the end of the rod tip. No drama, just taking it nice and easy. We've got Joshy with us today with the nets, and there we go. Well done, Joshy. Put it back in the water. And that's how you can catch a chub on the first trot if you take your time. So there we go, the first chub of the day, and hopefully them tips will just show you how you can get out on a freezing cold day and get a bite on the first cast if you target the right species, and of course if you've got a good netsman like Joshy. So with chub number 1 in the net, you'll notice that my rod is still waiting. That's because while I've just been sorting that chub out, just flicking maggots in, now you're thinking about chub number 2. We got that chub out nice and quietly, no drama. So hopefully, if there's any more holding down there, we're just going to keep them in the area, nice and happy. And nice and happy for Mr. Chub is food. Going in on the very next cast, that float is buried again, right on where the maggots are hitting the bottom, and we're putting that hemp. Second cast of the day, we're into the second fish. Just keeping that rod nice and low again, and just teasing that fish upstream. I do call pike fishing on the channel my lazy fishing, where I just sit back and chill out, but that would also describe how I play Mr. Chub. Nice and chilled. There's no rush when you're chub fishing in this time of year. Generally where you're fishing is where the chub are, because you can see that they're not in the rest of the river. So it's just a case of playing that game of chess. Don't really matter what they do in this part of the swim here, because you're well away from where you're catching them. So it's just now about getting them in the net, just taking it nice and easy. 2 casts, 2 chub. And you can see there that tiny size 20 hook, that fine line, a single maggot, and a good litmus test of how many chub might be in the swim is having a look in the mouth. There's no maggots in that chub's mouth, which suggests that it's not getting all the bait. When you catch one and it's spewing up loads of maggots, then obviously it's eating all the bait and could be the only one in the swim. The second chub of the day, coming on the second cast. Just by getting that feeding right and picking the right swim, you can get results. On a freezing cold day, Mr. Chub is always reliable. So again, the rod's still on the net rest. I'm just going to keep putting them maggots in, probably for 2 or 3 minutes, just to keep that bait going in. Say, being quite positive, Mr. Chub, every time of year is going to be hungry, and we know there's 1 or 2 about. So keep putting the bait in, and then we'll make another cast. So the third bite has taken a little bit longer. As you can imagine, sometimes when it's this clear they can spook, and it's probably taken about 15 minutes for that float to belly again. Balanced tackle and the reel set nice and light to take any lunges, and you've got the power in the rod just to edge it up. For this venue, a lovely chub. The size of fish is always relative to the venue that you're fishing, and for this venue, that's a cracking chub. The third one of the day, and we've been fishing for probably, what, 30 minutes? So the third chub in the net just shows how obliging this species is in the coldest conditions. If you'd have gone a canal today after the first frost yesterday, you wouldn't get a bite, I don't think. On a river, they're always against the flow. So if anyone wants to get into stick float fishing, you can see there the basics that you need. It's dead simple. Some line, some weight, a plummet, disgorger, a few floats, and you're good to go. Really is, terminal tackle wise, really good. And because your main line is stronger than your hook link, you very rarely lose any floats. And if I had £1 for every river that had fished, which had chub in like this, where people had stopped and said you'd only catch 1 in each swim, it's only good for 1. If you take your time, keep the bait going in, and I find using a keep net and not putting them back, you can find that there's definitely more than 1 in each swim. It's the very next cast after that other chub, and we're into another. The key to it is getting everyone out though. You've got to take your time, because losing one and it bolting back in the swim is the disaster. There we go, chub number 4, and just showing that you target the right species. Like I said before, you can get quite quick results. I couldn't have done it though without my little big man behind me. We're going to keep on in this swim till we get a few more if there's any there, and as we move upstream, hopefully we can find a swim where Joshy can fish from the bank and have a go himself. But it's just great being bankside with a little man getting plenty of bites. And of all the fishing that I do on the channel, chub fishing can be sometimes the most easiest one that I go out and do. And you say number 5 there now lined up straight away. It is a lot easier when the river's low and clear, because you can clearly see, like I've seen on the video, the areas where the chub are not. And the colder it gets, the more they'll migrate to one area. When you learn your river, because there's no substitute for time on the bank. YouTube can teach you hints and tips, but there is no substitute for getting out there and learning your waters. And I guess this is what you're seeing in this vlog, the result of that over the years of knowing your waters. This is the first time today in this swim, but the principles I've learned in other ones over the years are standing me in good stead. And that's not the biggest chub of the day, but what mint condition it's in. Absolutely beautiful, and yeah, well worth the effort on a cold day, getting out there and getting a few bites. Sometimes it can be really hard to move when the bites keep coming like this, it really can. But this one has gone straight for them snags on the far bank, and like I said at the start, I've set up on this side because we can get the angle just to keep that pressure on and tease them away. And isn't it great when you come into a swim you've not fished before and get results? That's the 6th chub of the day. We've been fishing about 2 hours. It's been a manic session. I really do want to try one of the swims on the way back for Joshy to have a go, because he is being really patient today. Chief netsman, he's been cameraman and everything, haven't you, mate? Yeah. Well done, matey. We gonna have a go in the next swim in a bit?
Yeah.
So the challenge isn't always catching fish on the channel. Sometimes it's moving swims and having to climb every tree on the way. But I wouldn't have it any other way. He's my best friend in all the world, my little big man. He's got his GoPro on and he's a happy little man. So no more bites were forthcoming in that other swim. We've moved to this fast-paced one. It's Mr. Trout. Joshy.
He wants to be camera famous.
He wants to be camera famous. Gosh, definitely. In this faster water, you will still find Mr. Chub in this slack on the inside, but yeah. Moved into the last swim of the day. Feeding the swim like we've done in all the others before making a cast, and one fish that is as greedy as Mr. Chub is Mr. Trout. And what a lovely way to end the day on the bank. We've been climbing trees, and in the final swim we've hooked Mr. Trout. He's looking a bit nervous because he's just found out trout have teeth. But you fish for Mr. Pike, Joshy. These are only small teeth. What a beautiful trout. So I really do hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog fishing for Mr. Chub with me little big man, Joshua. We're ending with Mr. Trout, a new species. All that remains is for me to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and we'll catch you all next week.
Tight lines.